Go, Eric. Welcome to Slapshot, live from the penalty box. I am Nolan Dalla. I'm with Eric Schneller. Eric Schneller is from Indianapolis, Indiana. This weekend, the Indianapolis 500 is finally coming. It's finally here. It used to be in May, and they had to delay it because of COVID. And I could not care less. And I got Eric here to tell us why you should care, why maybe you should make a bet on it, why anybody gives a damn about this, basically this gigantic parking lot of cars and a bunch of, I guess people won't even show up. I have no idea why anybody gives a shit about the Indianapolis 500. Welcome, Eric Schneller. Please tell me, sir, how I am wrong.
All right, you got it, Nolan. Welcome. Thank you for letting me be here. It's fun.
Cut him off. Cut off his microphone.
First of all, what do you have any idea what the biggest stadium in the world is?
I would guess in that thing in Buenos Aires or Rio de Janeiro or something, isn't it?
Nope, it's here in Indianapolis. It's the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Has over 257,000 seats. It is humongous. If you've never been here, or if you need to fly over, that's the best way to see it.
Yeah, I'm going to fly over it at 35,000 feet.
There you go. But it is unbelievably huge. It's the biggest event ever. And there's more people that come here than any other event in America, for sure. And one of the biggest events in the world. Almost 400,000 people show up every year. And this is just, it takes over Indianapolis. It is the month of May in Indianapolis. It is humongous. And it's not just Indy that cares about it. The whole world watches.
Oh,
yes, it's only race car driving. It's only race car driving. I get it. And not everybody in the world watches it, but an awful lot of people watch it. Millions and millions of people watch this thing. No, it's a spectacle.
All right, just a second. Listen, I'm going to be fair to you because you were brave to come on the show. I'm going to give you credit. I'm going to bow. You deserve some respect, even though I know you. So I have to ask you, is this, you live in Indy, you live there. Yeah. Two questions. How far are you from the track? And it really is a big thing, I'm assuming, for the people that live in Indianapolis.
It really is. Yeah. I live about 20 minutes from the track. So I live
the way you drive or the way normal people drive?
Well, the way I drive, about 20 minutes, except on race day when it's about 2 hours, because the traffic is still pretty astronomical to get there. But everybody goes really early. It's very organized, and it's miles and miles of ways to get to the stadium. So it's pretty easily run, even though it can take a little while for that many people to get there. But it's an event here in Indy. Yeah, it's the thing to go and do and see and talk about, and it's huge. By the way, a little bit of trivia. Do you have any idea who won the poll this year?
Won the what?
The poll, the number one seat for the qualifying. Like who's on the poll of the racing? You've heard Mario Andretti, right? You've heard of Mario Andretti.
Huh?
You've heard of Mario Andretti.
It's like the time trials where they get the seating.
Yeah.
All right.
So the winner this year is Marco Andretti, his grandson. I think that's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. I admit. And by the way, when I was like 7 or 8 years old, I knew AJ Foyt, not personally,
sure.
but AJ Foyt, Bobby Unser, Al Unser, Jackie, who's that British guy? Whatever.
Jackie Stewart.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I kind of get that, but Eric, that's when I was 7 years old.
Well, that's because you stopped paying attention and you got into football and basketball and baseball and hockey and all those other sports. It just because you don't like it, Nolan, doesn't mean that it's not worthwhile, right? You probably don't give two shits about soccer either, but
I do. I love soccer.
Oh, all right, okay.
I love soccer, man.
Do you bet on it?
I got the under. You're live in the under until the 75th minute.
So there's your best answer. Is it's a sporting event we can bet on. Okay, you and I are right there with that one. We need to bet on the Indy 5. If for no other reason, it's like a horse race. Just have something to watch and something to do. Got some money on it, makes it more fun.
I agree with that. And that being said, before I go into my rant about, I completely disagree. I have no interest in this. Even if I had money on it, I would put my money down at, by the way, spreads.com. I'm let's get the,
There you go.
be sure and put your money on, this site, right?
Yep.
Spreads.com. By far the best odds you'll ever find, right? Okay.
Right.
Let's get to the show. But so yeah, it's kind of like the last 2 minutes of a basketball game or something. Yeah, maybe I'll turn it on to when the score is 101 to 100. You watch the last 2 minutes. I mean, in a race, does anybody watch the first 35 fucking laps? Does anybody care about that?
Well, so the beginning is the most fun when everyone gets off the starting line.
Okay.
The beginning, the first 5-10 laps, as everything kind of gets squared away and they get stretched out a little bit. That's an awful lot of fun. And then people start drinking more and paying a little bit less attention.
Okay.
They look at the leader polls and see their car and their drivers and who they're wanting and which team, and they look up on the big poll and they see who's winning the race. And then, like you said, fourth quarter, that's when everyone's paying attention, when they're in the last 10 laps or so. That's the big attention span, and that's an awful lot of fun to watch them come down at the end. Just like a big horse race, clomping down the end. It's fun.
Well, you well said. It's getting hot as hell in here. So I mean, seriously, wow. Woo! I mean, by the way, I gotta give you a little bit of credit. Like, I'm sitting here in my house on the second floor of a house. I can't imagine what it's like in a race car with those engines. It's 100 degrees and they're going 200 miles an hour. So listen, I concede like the discomfort level.
Yeah.
However, now let me tell you why you are wrong, sir. Let me tell you why you're wrong. Because here is what watching a car race is like. Have you ever been on the freeway, stuck there on the side of the road with a flat tire? What do you see? Here's what you see, Eric. Watch carefully. Wow, how exciting. How did I not miss this my whole life? Seriously, that's what you're getting into. And by the way, then there's the danger zone of when there's a wreck and the tires fly into the audience. Man, I don't want to be sitting there with a ice cold beer in one hand and a fucking Goodyear tire in the other. Even though Trump doesn't like Goodyear, I don't want the tire upside my head.
All right, well, first of all, the stands are humongous. You can see almost entire straightaways, okay? You can see a lot more action going on and trading paint and going through and
wait, what is there to see? It's a bunch of cars. What is there to see?
Yeah, but they're going really, really fast.
Huh?
You've never seen but they're going 220 miles an hour.
You go to the airport and watch the planes take off too?
Oh, if they were racing and I could bet on them, sure.
If you could bet on it, the answer is
yes. I'm taking United 749. Let's go.
It's coming in live from Chicago. It's going to cover the spread.
Oh no, there's a thunderstorm. Yeah. So no, if I could bet on them, I would. But it is fun, and in the stands, you get to see a lot more of the race than you do on TV, right?
Yeah.
So I can see why watching it on TV is nowhere near as much fun as being there in person. But that's like a lot of sporting events. Hockey is so much better live than on TV, right? It's just so much more fun to be there and be present.
Hold on. Hey, just a second. Hold on. Hello? Wait a minute. Let me get my...
It's prop time.
Hello? Yeah. This is Nolan Dalla. I'm broke. I don't have any money. Quit calling me. I don't have any money. Quit fucking calling me. Sorry, you were saying?
I'm saying don't bet on the Indy 500 then, Nolan. If you're broke. I know you know better about other sports than Indy 5, so.
Well, let me
ask you another question.
Huh?
So, City of Indianapolis hosted the Super Bowl about 6 years ago, right? It brought in $180 million that year into our economy. Every year, how much money do you think the race brings in?
I'm sure a lot. I guess people come in there with campers and
more than the Super Bowl or
eat at the restaurants, at the parties or whatever. Yeah, I get that.
So what it brings in over $400 million a year.
Really?
Just from the race.
All right.
More than double a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's reasons for the city to care. Yeah. I understand why a casual race car fan may not care, because if you don't know the drivers, it's just like not knowing any sport, right? But the event itself, to the city of Indianapolis, humongous. A lot of the world cares about it. It's a great event. It's the greatest spectacle in racing.
Eric, I'll say this. If this company that you've been basically running for the last several years doesn't work out, I'd say you have a career in politics, sir. You should run for mayor of Indianapolis. I got no shot. I know they're going to kill. I was in Indianapolis one night. I was driving through. Is it I-70? Is that the highway?
Yeah,
I-70, right? And I stayed in some motel and, whatever. And the only thing worse than one night in Indianapolis is 2 nights in Indianapolis.
Oh, you're going to be killed now.
I'm sorry. It's just not my thing, man. I don't like.
I had previously invited you because it is a great city, but I'm uninviting you because I don't want to see you killed.
Okay. Here's my lightning. Go ahead. I'll tell you what, Eric, you got here. I'm the host. I control the switches here. I'm going to give you 30 seconds to make your final pitch, to tell me why I'm wrong and tell me why the Indianapolis 500 this year is something people should be interested in.
Well, first of all, if you're talking people of the city of Indianapolis, it is an event. It's something that is passed down from generation to generation. It is a legacy amongst Indianapolis people. It is just something that is done, and it's huge and it's popular and it's an emotional thing, and people are very into it. And then talk globally, it's a huge moneymaker, and the world cares about the Indy 500. Everyone knows who wins the Indy 5. And then they stop caring about racing. Beep.
Oh, sorry. Who am I? Where am I? Who am I? Why am I here? All right, fair enough. Let me just wrap it up. Auto racing is not a sport. Anyone can drive.
Oh my God!
Hey, I gave you your time. This is not crossfire here. Wait a minute. I'll give you one more minute, but to rebut. Any activity where I can hold a steering wheel in one hand and an ice cold beer in the other is not a sport. Okay, I've shaved not now, but I've shaved while I've driven a car. Listen, it lasts for hours. It goes days. Time trials. I mean, listen. They basically run these horses around the Kentucky Derby. It lasts 2 minutes. They call it the most exciting 2 minutes in sport for a reason, because it's 2 fucking minutes long instead of 2 days. And you got to sit there and pay $12 for a hot dog, and who knows how much for a cold beer. There's no way in the world I would go to the Indianapolis 500 unless you paid for my ticket, Eric Schneller.
I would pay for your ticket, and we would go sit half of the race in the suites and the other half in the snake pit in the infield, where you'd see more drunken nudity than you've seen in your life in the middle of this.
Wait a minute. You didn't tell me about this perk. You didn't tell me about this perk.
The snake pit, it's the infield, it's about a mile and a half round. Humongous. People bring campers in there. They sit on top of the campers. They have cookouts.
Wait a minute. Forget about the campers. Let's talk about the nudity. Talk about the
nudity. Anything you would ever want to see, you will see in the infield.
Wow.
Every race.
All right.
It's insane.
All right, it's Thursday. I'll see you Saturday morning. I'm getting my...
All right, we're going. I knew I'd find something.
Watch our money win. Eric Schneller, thanks for being a champ and a good sport for coming on the show. I'm Nolan Dalla with Pointspreads.ca. We're having some fun here. If you're from Indianapolis and you didn't like what I said, send all your hate mail that direction. Eric Schneller, what's your address, Eric? And where do you live? And, you can collect all that hate mail.
Yeah, You can find me on Facebook. Hunt me down.
Hunt him down. I'm sure he does. We have enough enemies as it is. Hey, it's really been a lot of fun. Thanks for coming on, Eric Schneller. I'm Nolan Dalla for Slapshot. This was 2 minutes that went way, way too long in the penalty box. I'll see you next time on Slapshot.